This is our league, and this is your league. From the 55-yard line on CFL America Radio and the Sports History Network.
Stand by, 15 seconds to air. Stand by all cameras and videotape.
Ready with your opening graphics. Stand by, Howard. Here we come, Frank. Ready, Don.
Stand by audio, your opening music, and roll tape.
Take tape.
January 11th, 1992, the Green Bay Packers introduced their new head coach. And a few weeks later, Mike Holmgren was introduced to Green Bay.
I had been there about a month. So I'm in the market, and I've got a little cart, and I'm getting some stuff. And I'm going down the aisle, and I see about 40 feet away a little old lady just looking over the edge of her cart coming at me. It reminds me of my grandma. And I kind of move to the right, and she moves over there. I move over here, she moves over. So pretty soon, she's not going to let me by. She's not. So our carts go bang. And she just looks at me and goes, "You're the new coach." I said, "Yes, I am, ma'am." She goes, "Hey, California, let's kick some butt."
Long before he was stalked in grocery aisles, Mike Holmgren was just another high school teacher in Northern California. He was an assistant coach for the football team, although he was head man in tennis. He also taught history and performed at school fundraisers with a doo-wop group called Big Bop and the Choppers. In 1981, at the age of 32, Mike Holmgren stopped running in place. What followed was a meteoric rise that took him from high school to the pros in just 5 years. In 1986, the San Francisco 49ers hired him to be the quarterback's coach for Steve Young and Joe Montana. In 1992, with no head coaching experience at any level, Mike Holmgren was hired by the Green Bay Packers. Holmgren left a perennial Super Bowl contender for a team with one playoff win in the last 25 years. He was going from the penthouse to Animal House. 1 month After Holmgren came on board, the Packers traded for Brett Favre, a quarterback who lacked experience.
And Darrell Thompson is tackled in the end zone by Brett Favre.
But made up for it with enthusiasm.
As perfectly as you can run this offense, he had seen it and coached it with Montana and Young. And so he comes to Green Bay, and to say that I was this raw, gunslinging young quarterback would be an understatement.
We got the youngster in now. Let's see what he can do, huh?
If you didn't think it could get any more ugly, it is.
Why didn't he? Can he play? Does he know what to do?
It was so fun for him to create something that was very different.
Blue, 58, 37.
And there was a side of him that really wanted to try those things.
Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away.
And early on, he tried them a lot. He was the riverboat gambler. He was the gunslinger. On more than one occasion, he'd come over to the sideline, and I'd go, okay, you're not going to throw another pass in this game. I'm going to hand the ball every single time. I'm taking the ball out of your hands. No, I'll be okay. I said, okay. And there was this constant thing like that early on.
But the former teacher knew it was best to let students learn from their mistakes.
His feet are on. Up, Steve. And make the switch. Put in the other quarterback. Come on. Wait a minute. But you know what? He's got to know he's up here, okay?
Eventually, they became partners.
I said, look, you and I are joined at the hip, and we're either going to get to the top of the mountain together or we're going to wind up in a dumpster. But it'll be together.
Adrenaline bumping a little? Not really. All right, you all right? I'm calm.
It's a tough place to get the ball.
I know. I'm calm.
In their first year together, Favre and Holmgren had a winning record, but didn't make the playoffs. They were missing a defensive presence. All-Pro Reggie White was both a preacher and a pass rusher. And during his free agent tour, White proclaimed that God would tell him where to sign.
When we were trying to sign Reggie, I phoned him up, and I left a message on his answering machine, Reggie, this is God. I want you to play in Green Bay. And then I hung up the phone. After all the press conferences and everything, he came to my office. He goes, in his voice, he goes, hey, Mike, that was pretty funny. That was good.
White joined the Packers for the '93 season, just as Brett Favre converted from rebel to disciple of the West Coast offense.
Back goes Brett Favre. Favre looking. Now comes to the end zone. In traffic. I don't know. Right between two defenders.
Who can throw it better than Brett Favre?
The Packers made the playoffs in '93 and '94. By 1995, Favre was the NFL's MVP. The Packers were in the NFC Championship.
Over the middle. Touchdown. Oh, what a catch.
They were the NFL's next big thing. A champion in waiting. In 1992, the same year Favre and Holmgren joined the Packers, the Super Bowl champions traded up
with the fourth pick in the draft
and drafted a Heisman Trophy winner.
The Washington Redskins select Desmond Howard, wide receiver from Michigan.
We were looking for somebody that we thought could really potentially be a great player, and I think that we couldn't find anything wrong with Desmond Howard. Is one of the guys we couldn't find anything wrong with.
They have one of the premier coaches in the NFL, and Joe Gibbs just came off a Super Bowl victory. So I thought that everything was just going to fall in place and be great. Obviously, it didn't go as scripted.
The Desmond Howard movie would have been rated D for disappointment. He was the 4th overall pick and played 3 seasons in Washington, but was left unprotected in the 1995 expansion draft. He was taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars, then released after 1 year. In the spring of 1996, Howard signed a one-year deal with the Green Bay Packers. Desmond Howard's career had yet to take off, and it seemed the career of the reigning MVP might be ending.
When you're taking as many painkillers as I was taking at one time, you know it's not right.
He was addicted to the prescription painkiller Vicodin. And when he bottomed out, Brett Favre was taking a dozen a day.
And at first I used it for pain. After a while, I used it for recreation. Had it been affecting my play, I would have said, hey, this is killing me. But hell, I was playing great, wasn't sleeping. It did the reverse for me. I was sleeping maybe 10 hours a week. I was practicing fine, no one knew anything. But like with any person with addiction, you start off with one pill, it's just going to take more and more and more. And eventually that'll land you in jail if it doesn't kill you.
I did not have an inkling that he had that severe a problem, but he was in trouble.
Sometimes you need someone else to say, if you're not going to do it, we're going to do it for you.
And I said, okay, we got to do something about this. And for right now, let's forget about football. For right now, we must forget about football, and we just got to get you healthy, because this is not a road that you want to go down.
In May of 1996, Favre entered rehab.
It's kind of a difficult time because voluntarily I'm going to admit into a in-treatment facility for however long it takes to get better. And my objective is to get better so I can continue play at a level that I have and to get to a Super Bowl.
The Packers' road to the Super Bowl took a detour through the Menninger Clinic in Topeka, Kansas. 17 days before the start of training camp, Favre emerged clean and confident. He predicted the Packers would win it all.
I'm sure Mike, when I had that first press conference and said, hey, if you guys don't think we're going to win it, just bet against me. He was probably thinking, oh, Lord. But sometimes you need confidence like that. You need statements like that.
Green, 18 set.
Brett Favre guaranteed a championship. Desmond Howard wasn't even guaranteed a roster spot.
We knew his ability, but he was always hurt just a little bit. And so in the meetings, I remember, the question was not his ability. The question was, is he durable enough to help us? Otherwise, we just have another player who can never play.
By the third game of the 1996 preseason, Howard was still on the bubble. He wasn't even assigned a wide receiver number. But one punt return changed everything.
77-yard punt return. Desmond Howard.
This was an elusive run at first. Set up the punter. Breaks a feeble tackle. And then it was speed after that. And dances into the end zone.
When I returned that punt, it was proof to everybody that they were right, that I could do what they thought I could do.
Desmond Howard made the team, but the Packers had a roster full of stars. No one was expecting him to have an impact on the 1996 season. When the 1996 regular season began, the Green Bay Packers were poised to make a run at their first Super Bowl since 1967.
This is going to be returned by Desmond Howard from the 35. Gets up to the 40, gets to the 45, gets to midfield, needs a block. He's gone, he's gone. 25-30, needs another block. He's down the sideline. And he's going to go touchdown.
Oh, boy, what a run that was, Jim. Nobody's going to catch him, and he jumped into the stand.
After barely making the team, Desmond Howard became the league's best kick return man. The Packers won their first 3 games by an average of 30 points. But Brett Favre threw 10 touchdown passes with only 1 interception. Months after leaving a drug rehab clinic, Brett Favre was playing like the reigning MVP.
Brett came out firing. He was off to the best start ever.
Holy cow! It was zeroed in with 2 defenders around the receiver.
I'll tell you, Jim, this Brett Favre is something else.
Brett came out leaner and meaner and ready to go. He came out kicking butt and taking names. And Jim McMahon, who was a quarterback on the team that year, said, well, hell, all of us should go get cleaned out next summer then. It makes Brett play like this. We all need a little stint in rehab.
At this point, because we had gone through all the grinding stuff, at this point I might make a joke, my goodness, that was quite a throw, or whatever I'd say.
Now, are you all right?
Yeah.
No more rocket balls, please.
Well, I was chained up.
No, I know.
We kind of believed in the same thing as far as our goals and how we had to get to them, but we also knew to keep it fun.
What do you think Mike would do if he knew I had a dip right now?
You have one there?
Just ain't the ice capades. My head's getting bigger. These hats are getting smaller. Shut up. There's Mr. Miyagi up there see him on the board? Oh, yeah. Wax on, wax off. You think God never farted?
Brett Favre could afford to relax. Because of his disciplined play, the Packers had raced to an 8-1 record. But off the field, Favre took some risks.
For Halloween, we had this plan. We were going to go to Mike Holmgren's house and knock on his door and, hey, trick or treat. Big kids, but, not unusual in Green Bay. And not only get candy or whatever from him, but just keep pestering him, not get candy and leave.
We're going to Coach Mike Holmgren's house, get a little candy from the big ball.
It's near the end of where kids should stop coming, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings.
Hello, Frank.
And I can remember saying trick or treat, and he said, well, I'm sorry, I'm all out of candy.
You're not even going to believe this, but we just gave out our last piece of candy. I am sorry, Gary. I am so sorry. I like your outfit, so, and you're all so beautiful. Not you, necessarily.
I hear one of hey, Coach Holmgren, this is Coach Holmgren, everybody. Hey, can we come in? We'd like to come in and see your house. So one of them starts walking in the house.
And BB's just, hey, we want some candy. And he keeps, holding the door. And, Mike's kind of like, I don't have any candy.
Wait, whoa. And I put my hand on his chest, and I think we're going to fight here,
Bye-bye. Please? Please.
I'm sorry, we have none left. Bye-bye, honey.
Don't you want any? I guess if we don't have none.
Bye-bye.
Please?
We don't have any left. See ya.
This kind of went on for a few minutes.
Huh?
And he said, wait a minute. And the gig was over.
Oh, gee whiz. Get out
No
there.
candy?
Look at this. Wait a minute.
I was going to say, wait, what if you get...
Who are all these little kids going to?
These are all our kids.
Really?
What if I get...
We just get...
Hey,
You're sick. You are sick. Hey, you guys, I am sorry. You know what I'm going to do? No.
They loved every minute of it. Hey, trick or treat.
I was coming in this house and Mike was like, what are you doing, man?
We had a great feeling on that football team and great personalities.
Whoa, 58, 36.
But when November began, the Super Bowl favorites were unmasked by a devastating string of injuries. In the span of 1 month, the Packers had lost their 3 most important pass catchers.
Hey, now listen, okay, Freeman's out of the game. He broke his arm. So now we just go with our regular guys on Paul's regular stuff, okay?
Antonio Freeman missed 4 games with a fractured forearm. Their most explosive wide receiver, Robert Brooks, was already lost for the season. And in the Week 11 loss to the Chiefs, tight end Mark Chamorro sprained his foot.
We had no receivers, and it became apparent. We're scoring 35 points a game, and now all of a sudden we're playing and we can't score 10.
A lot of teams will just fold their tent and call it a season. It can be justified. We lost our leading receiver. We lost our leading tight end.
It was like, can we keep doing this and succeed?
The Packers had been sprinting towards the Super Bowl. Now, they were a dead team walking. Their next game was in Texas Stadium, the place where the Packers' playoff run ended in each of the last 3 seasons. Green Bay didn't score a touchdown and lost their 7th straight game to the Cowboys.
I'm sure there were some people that questioned whether or not if we got to the playoffs and had to face Dallas, could we beat them?
After dominating for the first 2 months of the season, the NFL's #1 offense was in shambles.
The Cowboys are thoroughly dominated and outclassed the Packers tonight. This was no contest.
Green Bay had lost 2 straight games. And in the first half of their Week 13 game against St. Louis, their offense turned in its worst performance of the season.
And bad just got worse.
Mike Holmgren got fired up, then fired himself.
I was so mad that I could not function as a play caller. I could not. I mean, I could hardly view the plays on my sheet. I was so ticked off at what was going on. So I told Sherm Lewis, I said, you call it. Call it.
I can remember thinking, we let him down going in at halftime.
But the defense picked them up and ignited a turnaround.
Oh, there it is. Intercepted. Touchdown, Doug Evans. Evans on the interception and takes it in.
The Packers never looked back. After their comeback win in St. Louis, Green Bay never lost another game. Their defense ended the year ranked #1 in the NFL.
He's going to go down the sideline.
So did their offense.
MVP! 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 MVP!
Brett Favre won his 2nd straight MVP, throwing 39 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions.
And he throws the ball to the corner. Caught, and it's a touchdown. What a throw and what a great catch made.
Who can throw it better than Brett Favre?
Plays that were once considered youthful indiscretions were now categorized as veteran savvy.
Right, looking now, goes back to the left. He can run. No, he's still with the ball, and he is caught from behind, got away. Still, the touchdown. Holy cow.
And that's when you start seeing the underhand passes and the sidearm passes.
Just the way they drew it up, huh, fellas?
And when they result at the touchdowns, then no one's going to say anything to old number 4.
1996 cemented Favre's status as the NFL's best quarterback. It also transformed Desmond Howard from journeyman into genuine star.
He's looking for a block. Got one. To the 20. To the 30. Cuts back against the green. 35. Could go. 40. Got one man. He beat Royal. He may be good.
Howard produced the greatest statistical season any punt return man had ever had.
Guess what? Desmond Howard is at it again.
We became so good at returning kicks. Had I been playing against us, I wouldn't have kicked the ball at Desmond Howard. I would not have done it.
If you think the kicking game is not that important, then look at that season.
Waltzing into the end zone for the touchdown.
There's no doubt that without him, we would have not gotten to the Super Bowl.
The Packers finished the regular season with a 13-3 record and won more games by 25 points or more than any team in NFL history.
What a great football team this is. They have dominated the competition.
Oh, my God.
Dominated.
That would all be a footnote. Unless the Packers won it all.
All right, for the second year in a row, you're Central Division champions. Congratulations. I couldn't be more proud of this team. But we're not done yet, right? Let's go. Let's go.
As the playoffs began, heavy rains at Lambeau Field turned the cathedral of football into a quagmire.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to rain-drenched Lambeau Field. No frozen tundra today.
Neither the weather nor the 49ers could stop Desmond Howard. In the first quarter alone, he compiled 117 return yards and scored a touchdown.
To the 40, on his feet to the 45, outside midfield, to the 45, to the 40, he may go. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, and suddenly the Packers lead. 71 yards by Desmond Howard on his very first drive.
I really don't know how I got out of that mess. I just reacted and faked out a couple of guys, broke a couple of tackles, and the next thing I saw was just, a mud pasture ahead of me leading to the end zone.
That's as good a run as I've ever seen in a playoff game, Jim. What a run and what a way to start a football.
By halftime, Desmond Howard had already put in a full day's work. And with the 49ers staring at a 14-point deficit, Howard decided to punch out.
We're receiving the second half kickoff with the best return man in the league. And I kind of turn around and I glance down to the one end, and there are no return people. There's no one down there. Everyone else is lined up. We're all ready to go, and there's not a return guy down there.
I'm used to being one of the last guys out the locker room anyway. That's just how I am. Now I'm walking down the tunnel, and I hear a whistle. Next thing I know, I see the ball in the air. I say, oh, man, you got to be kidding me. So now I'm jogging down the tunnel. I see like a mad scramble for the ball and bodies flying everywhere. I'm like, no, they didn't start this without me.
How about that? You have 10 guys on the field, no one to return the kick. They kicked the ball, and they recovered. Wow.
We are trying to find out if there's anything wrong with Desmond Howard, because he normally is the return man on the play.
You know, Desmond Howard could have some explaining to do here.
Then all of a sudden, here comes Desmond Howard, like a stroll in the park, walks over to the sideline, walks over to me. I go, where have you been? He was supposed to be back there. He goes, Coach, my jersey, I was all dirty. I had to change my clothes. I said, well, good. I'm really happy that you're feeling better about how you look. That's not exactly what I said.
After Desmond's debacle, the Packer offense did the dirty work in the second half.
Edgar Bennett, Edgar Bennett, walking it into the right corner, and the Packers may have put it away right there.
They scored 14 unanswered points and earned a spot in the NFC Championship game.
Next week, whoever we play, we got to have 11 guys on the kickoff return team, man. Yes, we do. Right? 11. We've got to play with 11.
That was one of the strangest things that I've ever experienced in all of my years of coaching, including that never happened to me when I was coaching in high school.
Keep preparing yourself. I feel so good. I feel so good. I am giving you tomorrow off. I know someone's gonna phone the union, but tomorrow off. All right, hey, thank you. Thank all of you. Great team effort. Great job.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Lambeau Field. And it is the NFC Championship game, the tradition-bound Green Bay Packers against the upstart Carolina Panthers.
In some ways, that game almost meant more to me than the Super Bowl. It was football. It was cold. It was in Green Bay. And it was all Packer fans. To us, that was the Ice Bowl.
This is what you play for. This is the big game before the biggest game. Back to throw, going to the end zone. There's Dorsey Levitt. Touchdown, Dorsey. It's a touchdown and a perfect throw by Brett Favre.
I was just thinking, we're not going to lose this game. I mean, this is meant to be. I mean, this is what it's all about.
Brett straight back in the pocket. Quick drop. Goes to the outside. There's a fade. It's there. Touchdown, Antonio Freeman. A little fade down and out by Freeman. And a perfect throw by Brett Favre.
The first championship game in Green Bay since the Ice Bowl was a blowout win for the Packers.
It is all over, and the Packers are on their way to New Orleans for Super Bowl XXXI.
A season that began with turmoil was ending in triumph.
Now listen, you got to enjoy the journey. You got to enjoy the road to get there. You work too hard. All of us work too hard not to enjoy every moment.
That question gets asked. If you don't win the Super Bowl, do you consider this season a failure? I don't believe that, and I don't want my players to believe it. We enjoyed the journey so far. Let's keep doing it.
I'm proud of all of you. You're awesome this year.
Green Bay's journey now took them to New Orleans for Super Bowl 31. With 2 weeks between games, it was easy to lose focus. But Mike Holmgren had a scheme to get their attention.
We had our regular team meeting in one of the regular team meeting rooms, but there was something different about this room. There was a table in the front of the room with like a cover or some sort of blanket over the table. So Mike got up there and he started speaking about, the Super Bowl and the playoffs and what it all meant.
There's a lot of reasons you want to play this game, and we all love this game, but let's get down to it here. If you win the game, this is what you all get in your locker the next day. And I pulled the thing out. Here's the playoff bonus money in a big stack.
Guys were kind of looking around like, man, I don't know if they were really that aware that we were actually getting paid to go through the playoffs in the Super Bowl. It was kind of like, and we actually get paid this to play in this game.
I thought it was a pretty fun way to kind of relieve the tension just a little bit, and also a little bit of a motivational tool because everyone likes a little spending money.
The kickoff for Super Bowl 31 was 5:18 local time. With film study complete, Brett Favre spent the day channel surfing.
It was so weird sitting in that hotel room. That day they kept showing the 49ers playing Denver in the Super Bowl over and over and over again. And they keep showing Joe Montana checking to 59 Razor.
Black 59 Razor! Black 59 Razor! 49 South!
I was thinking, man, that had to be awesome. Just checking that play, guessing right. We had the same play. We just changed the number system up. Well, lo and behold, they're giving us the look that would be a good time to check the razor. So I'd take a gamble and check to it.
2nd down and 9. Brett Favre appears to be changing plays at the line of scrimmage.
And it works out perfect.
He's got time. He's throwing it downfield.
He's got him.
Wide open. It is going to be a touchdown to Lombardi Rising.
Can't believe it works in all places, the Super Bowl, and I've been watching it all day on TV.
Look at Brett Favre coming off the field. He is so happy.
A post pattern to Andre Rison, and he had 10 yards on the defender. The Packers score early.
I took a chance, and thankfully they played the coverage I'd hoped, and we hit it.
I think old Brett called the exact right audible for the situation there.
In the second quarter, another audible led to the longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history.
Brett has had a receiver open twice on changes of plays. This time he's going to go long upfield. There's
wide open.
Agreement. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30 down the sideline.
He's run away.
A long pass play.
No
Brett
flag.
Favre again checking out at the line of scrimmage. And Antonio Freeman on a perfect throw by Brett Favre.
Before the first half ended, Brett Favre threw 2 touchdowns, ran for another, and built a 13-point lead.
Yes, touchdown. Brett Favre does get the end zone.
Now, Brett saw that daylight, Jim, took a great shot at it, and he got it. Put the Packers way ahead.
Hey, so we got some big plays coming. I mean, everybody's open.
The coronation suddenly turned into a contest. As the Packers' offense waned, the Patriots waxed the NFL's #1 defense.
Curtis Martin takes it straight up the middle. New England is back in the ball game.
When they came back and scored, you know, you're saying, oh, man, this is going to be one of those that goes right down to the wire. That's the feeling I had.
I guess it'd be safe to say there's been a big momentum swing here.
I would say this situation is critical.
The Patriots had cut the lead to 6, and their special teams strategy had neutralized Desmond Howard on kickoff returns.
The best thing they did with the kick returns was to kick them high and not real short, but just not real deep. So I think they were effective with that. But the only mistake they made is when they started to come back, I think they got a little cocky, they got a little arrogant, because that's the one they finally kicked deep.
The Patriots had just scored a touchdown. The momentum was on their side. Super Bowl 31 was at a tipping point.
I remember looking up at the ball saying, I'm backing up. Oh, my God.
Here is a high float for this nice kickoff. Desmond Howard has to back up.
Now we're going to have a chance to set up a decent return. That's what they gave us. They gave us a chance.
From the goal line to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, through a hole to the 20, to the 30, outside, to the 40. We may be gone. Touchdown for Desmond Howard. They are saying 99 yards.
It was one of the biggest momentum-changing plays in Super Bowl history, and the only kickoff return for a touchdown in Desmond Howard's 11-year NFL career.
Once you return the kickoff, 99 yards in the Super Bowl, you take all the wind out of their sails and pretty much any hope that they had of a comeback. At that point, you knew the game was over.
Here's
Drew straight back in the pocket. Here they come again. Reggie got him again. Oh, my goodness. What a way to end it. And now, baby, it's over. Your Vince Lombardi Trophy is coming home where it started.
The former high school assistant had just won the Lombardi Trophy as head coach of Lombardi's franchise. Mike Holmgren's journey wasn't complete. He still had one more ride.
I was still just unbelievable. We'd won, and I'm looking up, we're going to win this thing, and then pretty soon, whoop, you're up in the air. I had never been before, never been after, carried off anywhere. Now I'm up in the air, going around, and I'm looking for Bill Parcells, and I'm trying to find him. I finally see him, and he looks at me and does this. Just goes, in other words, he's going, enjoy it. Enjoy it. And I said, put me down. I wanted to shake his hand, and I always do that, win, lose, or draw. And I wasn't going to not do it this time. And so, looking back on it, I would have liked to ride around a little bit more. That would have been nice.
When your quarterback throws for 2 touchdowns and runs for another, it's hard to win the Super Bowl MVP award. But Desmond Howard did.
To go to the Super Bowl is a wonderful feeling, period. But to go as a major contributor is the ultimate.
It's been 5 years now since you won the Heisman. Is there a Super Bowl MVP pose? Have you made one up? Well, you think about it.
To be on the podium at the end of a Super Bowl game with Reggie White and Brett Favre, it's something that, man, it could almost bring a young man to tears.
Good job. What are you doing?
7 months earlier, he was in a rehab clinic. Now, he was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But there were no tears from Brett Favre, because there were no more mountains left to climb.
After great wins, I've had tears come out. After tough losses, I've had tears come out. And here I am in the greatest win of my career, being up on the podium and just kind of soaking it all in, thinking, this is it? I shouldn't be feeling this. It was more, I didn't want it to be over. As I think back, and I've heard other guys say this, what you remember most is not so much that game, it's the journey. What you remember most is the games that got you there, and the practices and the bus rides. And all of a sudden that was over.
Come on. All the players, get in here close, man. Come on.
In the locker room, Mike's giving his talk. And I slipped off to the shower. And I just kind of felt numb.
Coaching for the Green Bay Packers, coaching at that place is special.
You earned it. You worked for it.
Because of the size of the city, the history of the franchise, part of the joy of that experience for me was thinking about that stuff. And so it came out this way.
Listen to me. This trophy, this is it. It was named after Vince Lombardi. You play in Green Bay, as important as it is to any other team and any other player, It means more to us.
I love football, and I'm a fan. It's my business, but I'm a fan. I always have been. And to be able to be in that spot that day for that game, I thought that was pretty cool.
This trophy's for you, man. Everybody. Everyone had a say in it. Everyone got it done. I'm proud of you.